over. Yep. I've already looked through this a little bit just to get a sense of how people are progressing. And there's a number of things that I want to show off because you guys are awesome. And then there are a number of things that I want to maybe have you guys think about in ways to, if you watch this, go back and improve what you've done, or if you haven't done it yet, things to think about as you're going through the activity. So this is what I see when I look at people's Desmos activities. Let me start here. So the very first thing I just said, draw me a picture. And I'm like blown away with people's creativity using this like really simple drawing interface. This is, of course, everyone's anonymous, but someone drew this great, awesome looking dog. Someone really went to town with the coloring. This seems like it took a lot of time and energy, but it looks amazing. This is like real art. I'm super impressed. This is a good, nice little smiley face. some Illuminati imaging. Nice. A couple of people left this one blank, which is fine. Someone figured out how to draw a square. There's some squiggles. Good. The obligatory yeet. More blanks. The perspective is good. 2020. Yep. COVID. That's real. Beautiful smiley face. Awesome. All right. So these sketches are great. Like, I think it looks like a lot of people are really good at sketching them, and it seems like everyone got the basic idea here. I'm really appreciating people's attention to detail, and I can tell the difference between, the fact that we're all doodly-doodling on our computers by hand, but I'm seeing even here a lot of precision, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, you guys are definitely seeing and counting this carefully, which is great. I don't know how you got these lines so straight. Bonus step. Nice. I love this, right? This just said a sketch. And so if this is what you did for this step, that's great. I hope this student was a little bit more precise in the next slide, thinking about what changes from step to step. But sweet. Looks good. More of that precision, labeling the fourth step. I dig it. You guys are great. This looks like the fourth step. Someone drew out all the squares individually. Nice. Okay, you guys get the picture. I think we got it. I didn't see a lot of, what I saw here was mostly pretty great. Nice. All right, this one, making the table. So this is where I started noticing a little bit of variety, and not in the first couple, right? Obviously, steps 1, step 2, step 3 are just like counting. You can just do, count the squares. Step 4 and step 5 is going to ask you to do a little bit of work on your own. And most people have the same number for step 4, 20. Step 5, though, I'm starting to notice some differences. So if you're one of those people that wasn't sure about step 5, I would go back and like double check some of these numbers, right? So here, starting to see more blanks as well. I know, so I'm doing this live. There are people who are actively working on this right now. This person should go back and check this isn't the right number of squares for step 3. 20 and 30. Yeah, so see here, step 4 had 20 squares, but step 5 had 25 squares. That's different than this person, which went 20, 30. Yep. Blank. 2026. Right. Blank. 2030. 2030. 2030. Okay. So there is a correct answer here. I'm not going to pretend there's not. I also don't think I need to like tell you what the correct answer is, because you guys have the ability to go back and do this. Remember, all of these people, you are making those great pictures beforehand. And we also have this next tool here, which is these green dots are the green dots that match the table you created. And so what I want to point out is, okay, that person's got one. Something like this, when I look at these dots, and this person made like this really great attempt, x squared plus 1, it goes through this dot, it misses these ones, but it hits this one up here. But notice that like these dots follow a curve, but then this one seems like different. So I look at this and I think this dot is kind of suspect. I'm not sure this green point is where it's supposed to be. I look at this and it looks to me like this green dot should be higher than this number. So if you have a graph that looks like this, where you have some points, but then this fifth point feels a little off, that's a sign to go back and double check your work. I'm also seeing a lot of people getting the main idea here without getting the detail, which is good. That's a good thing. So again, I see these dots, but like this looks a little screwy to me. Which means I want to go back and check it. Yep. Let me see if I can show you an example of what I think. Okay, so here's an example of someone who did the x squared plus 1/2. And what I like about this example is that they clearly are getting that it's x squared plus something. But what comes after the x squared plus something is, I think, what everyone is really struggling on. And people are trying to use the dots to figure it out. That's a good thing to do, right? The dots are here to test. However, let me remind you about where this problem started. So now I'm going to scroll back. It started here. And so when you're looking at these steps, ask yourself, do you see the x squared term in these steps? And let me say it differently. Do you see the square in these steps? And hopefully the answer is yes. And then you have to ask yourself what's being added on to it. And if the thing being added on to it is more than just like a static number, if it's not a big square with like one little square each time, the thing you're adding on to x squared is going to be more complicated than just plus a 1 or plus a 2 or plus a 3. Or plus a 1/2. I can talk more about this if needed. However, this would be where I would expect people to go back to their lesson 2 or lesson 3 work, and probably the lesson 3 video. And specifically, problem number 3 on the lesson 3 video is where I would tell you to look for some extra advice on these problems. But mostly what I want to say is this is looking really cool. We're getting the main idea, it's x squared plus something, but it seems like we need to figure out exactly plus what. So let's see. So this person has the x squared part, but it looks like they need to change to get it to go through their dots. A lot of people stuck on this one, yeah. Plus 1, right? But the plus 1 doesn't get us through these dots. Oh, I looked at this one already. Yeah. Oh, this person figured out a way to get it through their dots. Very cool. Okay. Still working on writing the equation. This person made a line, but they're acknowledging it's a guess. My advice to this person would be to maybe start with this x squared instead of, I don't see an x squared here. So maybe add an x squared to this and see what happens and go from there. Something like that. All right. So is the relationship a quadratic function? At this point, the answer is yes, it's quadratic because it has one of the parts of the relationship is this squaring that's increasing. Like the size of this square goes from a 1x1 to a 2x2 to a 3x3. So this is a squaring pattern, and squaring patterns are quadratic patterns. Okay, and so this one, at the end of this, you should go back and go through, and this is a self-check for yourself. How comfortable were you with creating that equation? At this point, I think a lot of these answers, like, to be honest, people are still figuring it out, and that's fine. We're doing this online, we're doing it digitally, we're going slowly, and we just started this unit. So if you are still figuring it out, that is a-okay. The question you want to be answering for yourself is, are you improving? And as long as you're improving, you're in a good spot right now. So that's the Desmos activity review. If you haven't taken a look at this, take a look at it for yourself. I will continue to be checking in. I will continue to see how people are doing on this. And if you have any questions, come back and ask me. All right. I think that is the end of everything I wanted to talk about. Again, I miss you guys. I wish that YouTube would let me talk to you, but unfortunately, YouTube does not let us chat. So let me know either in an email or in the comments on Google Classroom if this is helpful to you, if this is not helpful to you, if chatting is important. I know other teachers are doing Zoom, so I might have to just break out and do some Zoom. If that's what it's got to be, then that's what it's got to be. But let me know. Let me know what works for you guys. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later.